Okay, I'll declare the meeting open, and if we could stand for the affirmation. We recognise the traditional owners of the land were inspired by the early pioneers and by those who gave their lives for our country. We now ask on God's blessings on our deliberations and on our commitment to build a better lifestyle and environment. Also need to mention that this council meeting is being recorded and live streamed to council's YouTube channel. The recording will also be made available on council's website, whilst all care is taken to ensure that your privacy is maintained. Please be aware that your presence may be recorded. Okay. Any apologies firstly? No, none recorded. Confirmation of the minutes of the council meeting held on Monday the 6th of February 2023.
Mr Mayor, they appear to be an accurate record.
Move Councillor Haswell, seconded.
I'm happy to second that.
Councillor Heslop. All those in favour? Motion's carried. Any matters arising from those minutes? No, nothing arising. No presentation or awards. No petitions or joint letters. Any disclosure of conflict of interest? I have one on item 14.4 regarding the grape escape. Any other conflicts? No. Informal meetings of councillors. Quite a list there. Can I get a mover and seconder for those?
Happy to move that be accepted.
Move Councillor Dempsey.
Happy to second, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Emerson. All in favour? Those against? That's carried. Okay, item 9.4.1, mandatory induction training, and I'll get Councillor Heslop to read through the certificate.
I declare that I have completed the Northern Grampians Shire Councillor mandatory induction training.
Okay, thanks Councillor Heslop. There's a resolution there. Could I get a mover and seconder for that?
I think it's appropriate as a Carricara Ward member that Council notes that Councillor Heslop's declaration that she has completed the Northern Grampians Shire Council Councillor induction training.
Get a seconder?
Happy to second, Mr Mayor.
We'll just wait while our CEO signs the certificate to say it's all correct. You wish to speak, Councillor Starsvik.
Thank you for the invitation, Mr Mayor. I really appreciate that. It's appropriate that we have Councillor Heslop's signing that document now that we've got two members of the Carricara Ward for as long as the Carricara Ward exists. So thank you, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Dempsey, you wish to?
No.
Any other councillors wish to speak? I put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? Motion's carried. Congratulations on completing that induction. Item 9.4.2, Hallsgap Hall lease. Get a mover and seconder.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. The motion is that Council 1 gives notice of the intention to enter into a Section 17D Crown land lease with the Community Association of Hallsgap Incorporated for the use of the part of the Hallsgap Hall, and 2, in respect of the above notice, seek submissions from any person pursuant to Section 223 of the Local Government Act 1989.
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Haswell. Councillor Eddy.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This is a formalisation of a lease with the Community Association of Halls Gap Incorporated so that they can use and store items of historical essence and value to the community. The term is 5 years with 3 further terms of 5 years each and 1 further term of 1 year, so a total of what, if my maths is right, 21 years. And it's specifically for the purpose of Historical Society Centre and storage. Thank you.
Councillor Haswell.
And further, Mr Mayor.
Any other councillors wish to speak? You wish to sum up, Councillor Starsvik?
This only to say that this formalises a home for the Historical Society at Halls Gap, so they have secure tenure for 21 years. Thanks.
Put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? Motion's carried. Short agenda today, so we have reports from councillors, and perhaps I could start with Councillor Grady. You have a report at all?
Yes, Mr Mayor. Just a few meetings in the last month. I attended the VLGA International Ladies Luncheon down at Melbourne a couple of weeks ago. We were 2 men and about 38 women. That was quite a good. It was quite a good day, and there was some good, quite a lot of good things to come out of that one. We had the Grampians Destination Forum out at Halls Gap. There was a lot of good ideas come out of that for the future of what to do with out at Halls Gap. Great Western Futures Committee meeting was held. Rebalance the Nation, another one we done at North Park last week. And then, of course, we attended the Stella Young unveiling, and the same day we had the official turn on of the North Park lights over at the soccer club. And so that was basically my month. Thank you.
Councillor Haswell, do you have anything?
Nothing, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Emerson.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and of course this time of the year takes up most of my time in regard to the stall gift, so I'd like to give a report on that for the community, from a community perspective. So the stall gift this year is running their 141st stall gift, and of course the Stall Gift Event Management Board's very proud to be taking a large part in that now. The added additions this year are a 1,000 metre event for the women, and all of Australia's best runners are committed to those events prior to them going to the World Championships in May, I think it is. Of course, this year we're celebrating 20 years of involvement in the fashions at Central Park, and a big shout out goes to Mrs McPherson for her 20 years involved in that project. There are a number of other things we've been dealing with. Of course, some rather important things are the continuing support of Powercore in their sponsorship and the continuing support from the state Labor government. It's a very interesting weekend coming up. We're expecting big crowds. The ticket sales are good. We're now just hoping for a bit of good weather, and I'm assured by some of my fellow councillors that the weather is okay, and some of them are saying that a little bit gloomy and doomy. So we're hoping for a weekend of festivity, enjoyment. One last thing on the stall gift is we need your support as a community organisation to get behind the stall gift to help us continue this wonderful international event into the future. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor. Councillor Dempsey.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just a report on the last month. I attended the International Women's Day event at Store Neighbourhood House, which seems like a long time ago now, but the council have taken it on this year and running that. I was able to open the event with Grampians Health member Kate Pride emceeing the day, and we had panel guests of Councillor Karen Hislop, Jess Mathesoni and Josephina McDonald. And it was great to hear them speak, and hopefully we can continue to make that bigger and better event into the future. I attended the skate park advisory group in Stawell. So just some points on where this is at. The redevelopment works for the Stawell skate park are to commence on the 17th of April, and the construction of the new skate park will begin in late May. Will take approximately 6 weeks to complete, with works to be completed by mid-July. And there have been a few delays, obviously, that have been out of our control, but just to note that the construction is underway at the moment, and then they'll be able to transport some of those items straight in. So hopefully that can be a seamless process. And there'll also be a temporary skate park using some existing infrastructure of the current skate park just down the road, located at the entrance of North Park on Lamont Street. So if people are looking to, avid skaters and scooters and everything can utilise that facility whilst it's in construction. I also attended the Central Grampians Local Learning Employment Network Board of Management meeting. And as Councillor Grady stated, we had the member for Western Victoria, Jacinta Amakora, down last Friday for a number of reasons. One was to officially open the new lights at North Park, so around the athletics track, which supports groups including the soccer, rugby, little aths and amateur athletics, and all of those groups provided their gratitude and support of how great those lights are looking, and will help with a lot of training at night time with daylight savings, and can get the junior and senior athletes able to use those facilities for longer hours. I attended the Victorian Local Governance Association Fast Track Conference last week, and the theme of their event was Leading in Times of Chaos. We had several guest speakers, including former federal MP Julia Banks, and she was very insightful and empowering, and now follows me on Twitter, I must add. And of course was the unveiling of the Remembering Stella Young project that was held last week, and for this there was a huge crowd, a really significant turnout, which someone pointed out to me at 2:15 on a Friday afternoon or Friday afternoon, that's for community to attend an event like that is quite good. So I'd just like to extend my thanks to the staff of Northern Grampians Shire who made that possible. We went viral, basically. The town of Stawell went viral, Stella did, and it was really for the right reasons as well. So I just wanted to highlight that this funding has come about through the Victorian Women's Public Arts Program delivered by Regional Arts Victoria. As the Honourable Natalie Hutchins MP also stated, that the vast majority of public monuments and statues are of men, and she even pointed out that there is more statues of dogs and horses than there are of women, which is really an alarming statistic. So celebrating the achievements of women is vital to gender equality. The visibility of these achievements in the form of statues in public places means that women's statue stories become part of our cultural, social and geographical identity, as they should. And so it's great to have Stella Young as someone that we've honoured. And I just have a few words that the Young family have passed on to me just to share with the community today. So I'll just share those words from them now. We are so grateful to all of the wonderful people who have been involved in Remembering Stella Young project. We have huge gratitude to Danny for his tireless efforts and hard work. Danny is an exceptional artist, and we can't thank him enough for the wonderful work he has done. Lynn, Greg, Romy and Maddie Young. And that's all. Thank you.
Councillor Heslop.
I'm just going to highlight a few events that I've been to. I think everyone else has sort of spoke on behalf of me about a lot of the events that I have been to, but went to the Northern Grampians Shire West Vic Transmission Forum, and we've had a few meetings in regards to that. went to the MAV Advanced Council Financial Plan session, which I found was really, really good. Also the unveiling of Stella Young Memorial Statue, the Curry Hall Centenary, which was yesterday. I've been over to the VIC in St Arnaud. The other day I just went to St Arnaud and just caught up with a few people over there. Went to the library in St Arnaud. Previously to that, as Lauren said, attended the Stawell International Women's Day event, which was a fantastic event. And going forward, I'm really, really looking forward to celebrating and participating in the many events in Stawell over the Easter period, especially the Stawell Gift. And as my fellow councillor said, Councillor Murray Emerson, it's very, very important that we get locals to support the events. A lot of work goes into running these events, and the more support they can get, the better. That's it. Thank you.
Councillor Starcevic.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Certainly I'll add weight to Councillor Emerson and Councillor Hissop's statements about the Stawell Gift. It's one of the premier events in northern Grampians Shire, as is the Grape Escape coming up in May, so you can get fit and then indulge yourself in a Baccalian-style festival in May. So I can commend to you the Pebble Church. The Pebble Church group in St Arnaud, or actually Karapui West, are doing some tremendous work on the Pebble Church at Karapui West. And it would be remiss of me to say that they are hiring the facility out to those of you that want to renew your vows, and I would commend to you that you do renew your vows because it's money in their kitty. But they also have another form of celebration that will increase their coffers, and it's a kick to the curb function. So those that want to separate in an amicable way, they can kick each other to the curb and celebrate at the same time. Regardless of your reason, please invest wisely and join the Pebble Church. Over the past, you probably would have heard that I engaged with the youth up in St Arnaud just to hear what they had to say. It has been a very, very useful exercise, and to that end, we're coming up to our final discussion on this Wednesday afternoon, where I will discuss with them what I've heard, what I think they've said, and they'll probably put me right. But there are three themes. One is a physical exercise in terms of a pump track. The other is for those that are focused on arts and crafts. And the third is rehabilitating the Goldfields Reservoir for some aquatic adventures and fishing for the youth. Being so close to town, they can cycle out there without venturing onto the highway. We had the opportunity to meet with the senior members of the Sambo martial arts group in St Arnaud. Councillor Irwin was tempted to get onto the mat and practice his martial arts moves with the group of young kids, and I reckon he would have been pinned pretty heavily because they were pretty spectacular. But what this tells us, though, is that Sambo is a martial arts that's not at the forefront of mind. However, there are three schools in Victoria, one in Melbourne, obviously, one in Geelong, and one in St Arnaud. Now, go figure. The president of the Sambo Association in Australia was present at St Arnaud, and they want to hold national competitions in St Arnaud. So I think that speaks volumes for Kyle Tawney's efforts within the community. And while we were there, what do you think? There were about 50 kids there, roughly? About that. 50 kids and adolescents and some younger adults, all training in a small space. But to have the number of people that they're talking about for a national event would be something to see. Obviously, we've all spoken about the V&I West engagement. There's a lot of water to flow under that bridge, but I'll leave that to others to talk to that have already spoken to it. But the VLGA conference that Councillor Trevor Grady and Councillor Lauren Dempsey attended, I can say that we learnt a fair bit. One of the items is the role of councils and community engagement, when we engage, how we engage, the potential for seeing apathy as a symptom of inappropriate engagement, these are issues that we will have to explore. I think that my fellow councillors will agree that that was one of the more enlightening pieces of work that were done during that day. And I think that'll do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Very good, thank you. Yes, it's been a busy month, to say the least, and been fortunate to attend nearly all those events, I think, that everyone else has been to. We did have a meeting with Jacinda Amakora, the Upper House member for Western Victoria, and we discussed subjects around the Heath Street Bridge, the Western Highway, and there was one other, wasn't there? I think there was one other too, childcare perhaps. And also met with Martha Haylett, the member for Ripon up in St Arnaud, and along similar lines, the interconnector and childcare in St Arnaud. So it's been a very busy month, and I think the real highlight, and everyone's mentioned, is about the unveiling of Stella Young statue. It was a good day, and it was a very good day to see Grandpa Dave there as well, that he could make it, being 100 plus, so it was good to say good day to him. Can I get a mover and seconder for those reports? Thanks. Move, Councillor.
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
All in favour? As against, that's carried. Urgent business items, and I think we have one.
Yes, Mr Mayor, I have an urgent business item in relation to the Victorian-New South Wales interconnector, but procedure requires permission from Council to bring that up as an urgent business item. So my motion is that we allow the discussion on the New South Wales Victorian interconnector.
Okay, get a mover and seconder for that motion to be accepted as urgent business.
Happy to move that motion be accepted as urgent business. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Seconded.
Happy to second it, Mr. Mayor.
All in favour? Councillor Emerson.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and thank you, fellow councillors. My urgent business motion is that we write to the Municipal Association of Victoria for them to call on the Victorian Minister of Energy and Resources and the Australian Energy Market Operator in respect of the proposed Victorian to New South Wales interconnector West Energy transmission line, essential to the rewiring the nation and the Victorian renewable energy transmission, to 1, defer making any decision on the transmission route until comprehensive consultation is completed, and 2, to continue to consult with impacted communities and provide them with answers to their questions around route locations, impacts on farming activities and compensation.
Get a seconder for that motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll second that.
Councillor Emerson, you wish to speak on?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. A very important part of our community consultation now in regard to the New South Wales Victoria interconnector power lines has created a lot of angst amongst our community, especially over St Arnaud Way, in relation to the fact that there hasn't been very much consultation or community being allowed to have any input into where these power lines might go and what the effects of those power lines might mean to people affected, the farmers affected through their properties. It's time that we took on the challenge, and I know we are as a council in consultation with the VFF, but I'm moving this motion to get it put on the motion list of the Municipal Association of Victoria's State Council meeting, which is in May. Very important that we work hard on this. It's not a matter of us stopping the lines being installed there, but it's a matter of making sure that our community is fully communicated with and they understand what possibilities they have for compensation where they might be affected. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Sarcevic.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Certainly I echo Councillor Emerson's comments there. The issue is that AEMO with option 5 haven't, only until very recently did they come to council, this council, and inform us and start the engagement with this council. Whilst it's all a rush, engagement and consultation, as we heard at the LVGA, is best taken in a sober and timely fashion, not a rushed fashion. There are too many facts that are still unknown that affect people's utilisation of their own properties. And until those facts are provided to the community, we really do have to rattle a can, as I can say, so that we can get on the community's behalf a very clear understanding of what this infrastructure build will mean to them. And it goes to even more fundamental issues like protection of their assets in the case of fire. So these are really important issues that are existential to a farming operation. These are not small, as we heard at our joint VFF council workshop. These are not small enterprises. These are multi-million-dollar enterprises that use machinery that in their own one unit right is worth $1 million. So these are not trivial, and they should not be treated in a trivial fashion. They should be treated with respect, and that respect includes being told the facts. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Any other councillors wish to speak? Just from my point, I think it has been well covered, and we are putting in a submission, and there's a lot of questions and not too many answers as yet, and it'd be good to know exactly where the line is going, and hopefully we can get some answers, clear answers to those questions. The impacts of how people will be properly compensated, they are treated with respect, and yes, I think those questions need to be answered. So, Councillor Emerson, you wish to sum up at all?
Nothing further, Mr Mayor.
Okay, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? Motion's carried. We don't have any public question time as such. There are some items to be held in closed councils. So could I get a motion that we...
Yes, Mr Mayor, I move that we proceed in camera.
Get a seconder for that motion?
I'm happy to second that.
All in favour? It's carried. Okay, we'll get the CEO to report on what was discussed in closed council.
Very good. Thank you, Mr Mayor. Pleased to report on the outcomes of the closed council session. First item 14.1, Council awarded a contract C10 2022-23, provision of quarry products and concrete supplies, and appointed the following suppliers to the panel: Allstone Quarries Limited, Armstrong Concrete Boral Construction Materials, Conundrum Holdings Limited, Forest Springs Holdings Limited, Grampians Excavations, Hanson Construction Materials, Western Quarry, Reeves Earth Moving Limited. Secondly, 14.2, Council awarded contract C12 2022-23, Great Western Recreation Reserve Pavilion upgrade to MKM Building Group, trading as MKM Construction for their submitted lump sum price. Thirdly, 14.3, Council approved a building permit fund refund fee. And 14.4, Council agreed to waive an application for a place of public entertainment permit. Back to you, Mr Mayor.
Okay, there being no further business, I declare the meeting closed.